Good morning. On behalf of Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham, I welcome you all to this edition of Amrita Oval. At Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham, we aspire to join hands with institutions, parents, and guardians to provide value-based education and mold the character of the younger generation through a system of wholesome learning. Amrita's culture of education helps to inculcate in our students the right ethos to be rooted in values of dharma, which is righteousness, karuna, which is compassion, and shraddha, which is mindfulness. We believe that Amrita Oval can help to demonstrate and aid in learning important skills that can be transferred to any aspect of our life, thereby falling in line with the Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham vision, which is education for life and education for living. With Amrita Oval, we hope to provide experiences that are conducive to life changing cognitive and presentational skills. The Amrita Oval aims to help audiences and learners to see the power of deploying rational, reasoned arguments and compelling evidence in action. It sets an example of ways to elucidate our standpoint by utilizing rhetorical eloquence. Via Amrita Oval, we also aim to demonstrate the skills of researching, organizing, and presenting information in a compelling fashion. Other skills and areas we hope that Amrita Oval will assist to demonstrate to learners are gaining a broad, multifaceted knowledge outside the learner's normal academic subjects, providing an engaging, active, learner centered activity, improving rigorous, high order, and critical thinking skills, enhancing the ability to structure and organize thoughts, and enhancing the learner's analytical research and note taking skills. Um, I would also like to share a couple of rules for the debate, which has already been presented to everyone. The motion of the debate is the topic of the discussion. A motion can be either explicit or at times the motion can also be not clearly defined. The sequence has been as per the scheduled document. I will go through it again shortly. Timing, the speakers must have their content arranged so as to use up all the time allotted. The moderator, which is myself, will inform about 30 seconds before the time is to end. Speakers should then come to a coherent end quickly, but they must make sure that they include all the relevant arguments in their speech. At the end of the time, the moderator, which is myself, will ask the speaker to stop. The moderator is the presiding judge and the sole interpreter of the debating rules. The moderator opens debates, keeps order, ensures that debates are conducted according to the rules. The moderator shall also give procedural guidance if needed only. The moderator does not share opinions on the topic of the day. He's here only for procedural guidance whenever needed. The moderator is also responsible for notifying speakers when the time elapses. Points of information. After a speech, speakers from the side currently not debating may offer points of information. Points of information introduce relevant information or directly refute what the speaker has just said. The speaker may accept or reject the points of information. Points of information should be no longer than 30 seconds to a minute maximum. Other general rules, I request that there should be no expression of which is offensive, personal, or defamatory in nature. The moderator may call to order any person using such expressions. When worded as a proposition of policy, the topic requires the affirmative to support some specified action by particular individual or group. The affirmative also has the right to make any reasonable definition of each of the terms of the proposition. If the negative challenges the reasonableness of the definition by the affirmative, The judge must accept the definition, the team that shows better grounds for its interpretation. No revision of position of a speaker is permitted during the debate. He who asserts must prove. In order to establish an assertion, the speaker must support it with enough evidence and logic to convince an intelligent but previously uninformed person that it is more reasonable to believe the assertion than to disbelieve it. In the questioning period, the questioner may ask any fair, clear question that has a direct bearing on the debate. The questioner may use the period to build up any part of his own case as well, or to tear down any part of the opposition's case or to ascertain facts. The questioner must not make unreasonable comments or ask rhetorical questions. The debate must base its decisions entirely on material presented without regard for other material which may be present but is not submitted during the debate. Any gains made outside of the established procedure are disallowed. Again, a request is to ensure that you have a pen and notepad or any form of making notes handy. You may need it during the debate. Lastly, the flow of the debate. The debate is going to run for a duration of 90 minutes. We're going to have 3 rounds. The first round is where each speaker will be allotted 2 minutes to introduce himself or herself and to share the stand on their topic. Post that, we go into round 2, where each speaker will be allotted their core 10 minutes of time. There will be a crossfire round after the first 2 speakers have spoken, and there'll be another crossfire round after the third and fourth speakers have spoken. Round 3, each speaker will get 3 minutes in which they have to summarize their stand, in which they can, they can actually either refute or receive points from the opposition and come to a coherent conclusion. There will again be a crossfire round in between this for 2 minutes each. Post that, we will close the debate. So there'll be 3 rounds. Round 1, you introduce yourself. Round 2 is where you share your core points. And round 3 is where you summarize. We are now ready to begin. If there are any questions or final thoughts, you may share them now. If there are any questions, any final thoughts, you may share them now. Else, we are ready to begin.
Ready.
All right. We move into round 1. I invite speaker number 1 to please introduce yourself. Miss Baby,
Yeah.
please go.
Yeah. Good morning, all. I am Baby, principal of National Model Elementary High Secondary School. I joined in the school in 1994 and as a math teacher, and then promoted as a vice principal. Then thereon I elevated as a principal. From 2005 onwards, I am the principal of the school. I balance both in handling class and the administration in producing symptoms and symptom results in the board exams. My ambition is to make children an overall all-rounder in all the areas, making them setting the goals and achieving it. I had my schooling here in Kanya Gurukulam and graduated from PSG Arts College. I was into sports during my school days, and my hobbies are reading books and taking care of plants and maintaining things systematically. I have got awards as a Best Principal Award from Di Milano University from Italy, Bannariaman College, Katpagam College, Ramakrishna College, and KPR College, and Abdul Kalam Excellence Award for the Best Principal from Elite Circle. And my topic today is I talk for the technology. The reason is in this, we know we have crossed so much of civilization, and this modern era, technology is very, very important. Whether we stay at home or for students or for all the people, those who are into professional. So I stand to the point to talk for the technology. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I invite speaker number 2, Dr. Nalini. Your 2 minutes.
Good morning to all the dignitaries who are on the platform today. And first of all, I would be very much thankful to the education promotional divisions of Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham. And I'm Dr. Nalini, principal of one of the branches of MES PU colleges, renowned institutions in Bangalore, especially in the area of Malleshwaram. And I entered into my teaching profession from 1987, where I started my profession from KLE College, Rajachinagar, Bangalore. And from 1994, I'm associating with MES institutions. And what my mind would like to present here is that, as all of us know, in the state of Karnataka, MES is supposed to be one of the best institutions. And when I joined the institution, I was told that it's such a challenging assignment I'll be given with. And that note was only just because I was from a government school and government college. But I have given away, or rather won all those hurdles, whatever I'd heard for. I'm very much confident that the government school children are doing the best. With my own example, and as I'm observing also these days. And I teach biology first because I'm a teacher. Then I'm the principal now, which naturally goes with all the difficult most part of the service, rather called the administration. But I have all the mind to learn each time, and either it could be with reference to teaching platform or for administration. Now, teaching has given me such a confidence that I should be able to convince the one who is in front of me with all my thoughts, ideas, and words. And lastly, but not the least, with all the practical inculcation of the same. And now I am rather my interest, fields of interest are no doubt first about teaching, second is the administration, and last but the least, to be a student forever, though at my age of 58. And I have been served as in different fields where I was junior for various events from Kendriya Vidyalaya. And my hobby is to present the topics on general subjects in various institutions to create awareness. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I invite speaker number 3, Ms. Jiva, to introduce yourselves.
So happy to be the part of the event. I'm really elated to introduce myself. I am Mrs. Jiva Sendil, MSc B.Ed MPhil in Geography and Economics, MA. To be very frank, I was a KV student. My father was in Air Force, so in blood patriotism flows. And I'm for the value-based education and what you are inculcating among your college and among your students. And I completed my schooling in KV and did my BSc Geography in Nirmala College, MSc in Queen Mary's, Chennai, B.Ed at St. Christopher's College at Chennai, and completed my MPhil in Presidency College at Chennai. And then MA, recently I completed through Annamalai University. And I had a rich experience of 30th year at present now, 3 years in Park Matriculation, 17 years in SBOA Junior College, Chennai. And at present, I'm working as a principal in charge in SBOA Metric, High Secondary School, Coimbatore, Chakkamputtur. And over here, 2 years as an AHM and 2 years as vice principal. And now I'm being given in charge as a principal. I want to make a second family as for the children as well as future inside the school. That is our family, the next family, I believe. And a very, very soothing and a learning experience children must face inside the campus, inside the premises. And teachers also must feel good. And they have to be in the premises without any hassles and puzzles and all that. That is my intention to keep cool everybody and to inculcate values. Ultimatum is values, which at present is decreasing. And that is the reason why whatever been allocated, I'm very happy.
Notification.
Yes, sir. I am standing for against the use of technology, sir. That's my stand. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. I invite speaker number 4, Mr. Santosh, to please introduce yourself.
Good morning, Mr. Moderator and my co-speakers. I am Santosh Chandran Nair. I am an engineer from Coimbatore Institute of Technology, and I'm a correspondent and secretary of Sri Dharmashastra Matriculation Higher Secondary School, which is purely a honorary job. This school is owned by the Coimbatore Sri Ayyappa Seva Sangam, that's Siddhapathur Ayyappa Temple. Our motto is to serve on the needy. And that's a honorary job, as I said. And as my profession, being an engineer, I'm working with an MNC company for the last 32 years in sales. And I'm going to speak here against the digital technology which is upcoming.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We now complete round 1. We move into round 2, where we will all be allocated our core time. I've already introduced the method in which the round will flow. Each speaker will have 10 minutes in which to present their core speech. At around 9 minutes and 30 seconds, I'll just give a time notification, at which point you're requested to conclude within the next 30 to 45 seconds. I invite speaker number 1, Mrs. R. Baby, to come forward. Your 10 minutes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
I stand for the technology as it improves the knowledge for the children. Long gone are the days where students got knowledge from teachers, parents, neighbors, friends, relatives, and they have to approach the library to read the books. But today, sources of knowledge are diversified, and one of the ready source is the internet. They can get answer to their questions from the place where they are, the world's biggest library. There are several educational applications which provide an interesting way to learn topics, make presentations, and complete assignments, track various exam schedule also. I have to have a special mention here. During the lockdown, only this technology had made the children and the teachers and the parents united. So, very important one. We in the modern era, we have to follow the technology, and it's assist in all academic skills. Starting from the primary classes, the children can learn phonics and pronunciation and get to know the meanings, even if their people are not at home to guide. Listening to the audio and video make the children hone their communicative skill. Lot of practice worksheets make them proficient in subjects by developing cognitive skills. Watching, reading, and trying simple experiments make them develop an experiential learning. In higher classes, students are able to access e-book, so carrying weight in the bag is reduced, ultimately taking care of the health benefit of free from shoulder pain or back pain. E-storybooks make the children spend the time wisely when they are waiting anywhere outside, leading them to develop their reading skill. E-book help the children to have brainstorm and research on various projects pertaining to the topic. Analyzing the different question papers make the children face the competitive exam very strong and bold. Copy of the answer sheets are also available online, which make the children to get to know what has to be done and move further on to succeed. Having the convenience of the mobile device gives the students an edge. Besides online lectures, students can also use it for the entertainment when they are free. We know life in the world that is similar and more connected than ever before, just because of the mobile phones and the technology. Nearly when we see more than 95% of the students own a smartphone, right? And it is a good time manager. Really saves their time and makes them read more things and attain more marks. Parents, students, teachers, communication app helps the students and parents get connected, and students and parents are able to get the detailed homework, which gone on the days where they had a written diary and the children take it home, and sometimes if they want to while away the time, they leave the diary in the school and they say, I have forgotten. Parents also will not know what homework the teacher had given. So this homework app helps the parents to know what is happening in the school. Online coaching classes attended from home in the presence of the parents helps to know how our children are. Can contact the friends and teachers to get clarified about their doubts. So all these ways we can reduce the time where rather visiting the school and getting knowing or going to the place and getting knowing the things. And immediate happening at local corner of the world will be in our hand in a fraction of a second. With a short span of time, students are able to get much information compared to the earlier days of visiting library. Even exercise helps to work out at home, seeing the apps and seeing the videos and all kind of reminders pertaining to birthday, exam day, fee reminder, fee payment, project submission, and result date. New movies release will be in their hand immediately when the date is announced. And GPS help everybody to track where the children are. Children, whether they commute in the school bus, or they have their own vehicle, or they have the mobile, the GPS helps them to spot where that child is and make them to follow the directions. Call recording also helps to track back the incidents and informations. We have all the recorded facilities everywhere, be it a camera, be it in a, mobile phones, we have a call recorded. Everything will help us to track back what the incident had happened, how it had happened, and makes us to sort out the problem wisely. And it helps to reach anybody during the emergencies. See, there are people, there are elders at home, even they are under the sometimes half an hour or 1 hour, parents leave the elders in the hands of children or with anybody. They can move out when the camera is on, they can track back how the system is carried out at home also. So parents, when they go home, when they go to work and what is happening, where our children are, easily they can trace how the children are at home and what are they doing, are they gone out? So everything can be traced back using all this. And it gets connected with everybody. We can evaluate one individual by how much ability he has to make contact with others. The number of friends the person has using the Instagram, and we have so much of social media, and with the number of friends they have, we can get to know what kind of the person is, how socially is he or she is mingling with. In olden days, it is very difficult to get socialized, as we have to travel a long distance and keep meeting and then come back. Once in a while it happens, but every day at home, how long hour we can talk, we can have a touch with them, and everything is possible. It is because of technology, and mobile phones made it much easier to be in the social media. Students really need their availability in the social media. It helps them to get in touch with the higher officials and other people to make their life better. It connects the parents and child wherever when they are in abroad. That is the reason parents are sending their children abroad for their right from the undergraduation for the higher studies. And children are able to enhance their creativity and efficiency. It aids to get the information and send the information immediately to any part of the world. Able to collect new ideas, games, designs and patterns and data, and they can use it for their business. The business It is not that whatever the parents say that we cannot carry it to long gone days. Parent say this is what we have to do. That is the practical experience now. With the creative thoughts, when we have run that business, we'll be able to come up in the business. Sometimes our mobile phones can be used as a flashlight. We cannot carry too many gadgets in our hand. So mobile phone will be very ideal. It can be used in any of the form, right? And it can be used as a calculator at times, as we need not carry calculator. We can use it as a camera. We need not take camera. And whatever the pictures we take, immediately it can be stored. Earlier days, we had to have a film camera, take it, go for printing, and then have a record. But now this technology makes us what can be the photos we can store and how it can be stored, how what forms it can be taken. All that can be done only with the technology. Then earning money. So what are the ways? Multiple jobs. People are into multiple jobs. It's all because of the technology. It helps. What are the ways it can be, the business can be done? How money can be earned apart from our own business? What are the ways we can multiple our savings also? Then the personality development. Main thing, the children can read lot of books. That helps them to hone their personality. On collecting information, one will be able to analyze their personality and correct it. They can groom themselves. And children will be very, very responsible, because even one phone, I have seen people then taking care of their books or the things, they'll take care of their mobile phones, because one mobile phone the parent will give and they'll say, they ensure that well, you have to complete +2, then only I'll give. Or you have to complete your UG degree, then only you have to buy on your own. So that responsibility many of the children have, they from there on, their responsibility starts, how to take care of the things.
Time notification, 30 seconds more.
Okay. So overall, I can say technology makes the people get connected, and we, all the people at home or in the profession, needs technology to hone their all kind of skills. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. A real pleasure listening. I now directly go on to speaker number 2, Dr. Nalini. You can please unmute yourself and your 10 minutes. Please go ahead.
Thank you to the moderator. And my part of the debate is for of the title of the day, where the digital technology is making children's lives better. And to speak to this first, I would consider myself a child in learning education through technology. Now, first of all, I want to justify my statement, what I made, which is applicable to any children of the present day. Now, this debate is a matter of at present concern. But if you put a question slightly back, why? The situation has made us to go either for this or for against this, but where I have chosen for this. Now, my justification for this debatable topic is just the entire globe happened to suffer from the most worst have ever experienced situation called pandemic because of COVID-19. And just think for a moment, if there was no technology to this extent available, what would have happened to all the learning group, so-called the students group or the children group, which are supposed to be on a perfect path called education? Imagine the society, the young generation, the growing learning education, who are not able to access to the information or for the knowledge, so-called education. Where will that situation bag the society continuously after 2 years? which we are able to envisage now. Now, when this situation called pandemic raised, to reach to our children, all the teachers or all the teaching fraternity of the world were into a frightened situation. Imagine a simple platform like Zoom, which is doing the most these days, would not have been developed through technology. Was it being made possible for us to reach to our children who stay far away from our homes? Was it possible for our own conscience that we are doing any justification for a knowledgeable from the knowledgeable source to the one who needs it? It's just one simple example I would like to quote here. And beyond all that, when the child or the children are not able to reach to an institution, how are we able to communicate with them? What will be the presidential situation of the parents where the children are not able to go to schools, not able to be on a path called learning, not able to be in a path called possessing or going to learn, going to have the knowledge? Just because of this technology or digital technology especially, we were all made comfortable to reach to a comfortable zone to continue with a path called education. And we, the teachers, are the most sufferers in the field of education during pandemic, where we were the beginners to go with the technology. Most of the teachers or the teaching fraternity never dreamt of learning or involvement of or the facilities available through a field called digital technology to extend the hands called education. Now, recently, during almost the end of pandemic, it happened for me to see that the dropouts from the schools are many. Now, if a society goes with such great numbers of dropouts from education, what will happen to the situation of the entire globe? What will happen to a platform called progress? See, whatever the kind of progress need not have to be only on business or economy or whatever. A knowledge called education is very much necessary. Even to a layman, without education, not possible to have a comfortable zone of life. So added to that, school education, if during this pandemic, this technology has provided so much for all of us to impart or to extend our knowledge, to educate our group of maybe between the age of 4 to 10, or between the age of 14 to 18, or between the age of 20 to 24, or even to a line of researchers. Now, not only this, when we talk about the population, the child population might have or may suffer from illness. And during pandemic, it was so helpful to get the treatment or advices regarding the treatments through digital technology only. And during digital technology or digital teaching, when I spoke to my own children of my own college, now they were so happy that whatever the chalk and talk method of teaching goes on, better than that, added over to that, the technological support of teaching has helped us a lot. This is the opinion I got from my children. But why I would prefer to go for this digital learning is, suppose I want to exemplify or teach my pathway of information to the children, where certain examples have to be given or some demonstrations have to be given, which may not possible really on the table in a classroom. But with the help of digital technology and digital assistants available these days, it is possible for me to show them on a screen where my classroom can be a smart classroom, where the child is able to understand when something is proved experimentally. Now, suppose an example I would like to quote here, when you are a teacher and you are not much aware of the solar system or the light or the scientific pathway of explaining about the light, photon and electron and all that, I can't understand that, I can't believe that. The same case with the children could be. Rather, if I show the same experiments on screen and make them understand with our own oral explanation, won't that be a better path of or better way of presenting and making the child to get a knowledge over that? So in this context, when we are able to teach, rather educate our group of children with all the technological assistance, that would impress the children better. And we also went on conducting the examinations and tests online, which could happen very much easily, comfortably than in a real classroom. Now, the software were so authentic and so accurate to the point that we were able to do the evaluation work so perfectly, and there was no any much of human resource required over there. With the machine and technology, with the digital technology, it was very much easier, and it was possible to conserve our time to go for the examination purposes followed by evaluation works. And when such an accuracy is expected, such high expansion of the knowledge is expected, isn't it our concern to go with innovative moderns or innovative methods of education, which will always be helpful to all the sector of population? And one more example I want to quote here, which is a real fact that has happened. Now, during this, especially a situation called pandemic, from the remote places, why not only the remote places, even from the urban cities, children could not reach to their schools. Now, and if we reach to a places, some of the places from the northeastern parts of our own country, the transportation is very much difficult. And there are some tribal population who are not able to reach to the schools. In that case, isn't it possible with our technology to make them get educated, without which it may not be possible? So such remote efforts, remote practical experiments have been taken place, which has given a much more advancement in the uplifting the learning capacities of the children, maybe of the urban places or even the remote places. And secondly, the most important is, now imagine the schools. Sometimes if the child wants to join a very good school with all the infrastructure to a greater extent and to the best level, the monetary capacity may not be possible. The child may be economically, or the parents could be economically slightly weaker. In that case, if just with the providing a phone or providing a laptop or a tab or an electronic gadget,
Time notification, 30 seconds.
it is possible to render education, rather give a service called education to the people who are economically weaker. And just by providing education, not only to the elite class, even to the underprivileged group of the society, through this technology, using the gadgets, as Madam told, the speaker number 1 told, it is possible to empower the population, empower the child population with a very high knowledge. So I would acknowledge the field of digital technology highly and respect that with which we have to go ahead and bring the society to a comfortable zone. Thank you.
Mute. You're on mute.
No.
Thank you, Dr. Nalini. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I now open the space for points of interest, if any, to be shared, especially by speaker number 3 and 4, those who are here against the topic. If there are any points of information that you'd like to raise on the speeches conducted so far, please go ahead.
Yes, I would say that it helped online classes, it helped online tests and all that. How far authenticity been seen? We don't think so. Children, especially the higher classes, they were totally into the factor of malpracticing the mode. They were not very, they were not truthful enough in taking up the test. And online classes where Madam, both of them they just switched on the phone and they just moved across. That was the experience what we had in our schooling. And moreover, the parents, they refused to pay the fees, stating that it was only online classes. That is, I don't think technology alone is life, and it has taken us to a greater level. But to be very frank, there were so many parents who were not able to get a very minimal cost of a phone during the pandemic. They were that kind also. Very many families face all such situations. I don't think the very perfect, authentic testing have been possible during online sessions during pandemic. This is my what is a rebuke against it, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Jiva. Would anyone like to take that on? Okay, we'll just keep it as a points of information. Yes, ma'am, please go ahead.
Yeah, as
Dr. Nal, please.
Madam said, there were so much of malpractices when the examinations were conducted. Ma'am, one thing I would like to tell that now our digital education is not just to teach the distant ones. There are such softwares available in these days, commercially available, and from the educational departments, softwares are available where your questionnaires or your question bank can be such that where just they cannot go for any malpractices. And I have an institution where I associate with, where they conduct written examination from the homes of each individual child, where the child will be sitting in front of the computer or the laptop and writing the examination. Even if they tilt their answer booklets, even if they move their laptops, the gadget is going to inform them that there is some different practice that is happening or different activity that is happening. Immediately, it is possible to keep the child out of the examination. So here what I would tell is, than to complain that the technology is not able to help for examination in a convenient way, we should search for such technology and the softwares which can make us to go for better examination performances. And for your kind knowledge, I would like to tell that all the higher level of examinations are happening online. Do we feel that is it malpractice going on there? The softwares are to be developed, and we have to inculcate and discover or invent such softwares where it is possible to do the best than sitting in front of a desk and writing for hours together. That's my opinion.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My answer is yes, there are a lot of software available. The children are taking the test, and if the children are not attending the class, the teacher monitors whether they are attending or not. Immediately, the message is being sent. That is how the technology is used. We can see their video mode. The children should be in the video mode. If nobody is coming on the video mode, immediately the message is being sent to the parent. The child should write the test. And if they are not able to sit in front of the computer, the time slot is given half an hour. After half an hour, they have to complete the test and post the answers. Even if they tend to copy the answers, even that copy is also sent to the parent. See, that is how your child has written. So it was beautifully organized on online classes also. The children were able to write the test, attend the class, and the parents were able to get their children are attending the classes. This is from my point.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Any other points of interest that anyone would like to share?
I would like to say something. See, technology may be very much on the move, and your online tests and other things are all there. See, even this Zoom meeting, I could minimize this. And to the points of Nalini madam and Baby madam, what they have made, I could search for another window where what the points are relevant. Have you said the correct ones? The Google is there. It will correct me. Similarly, the same tests, by minimizing one window, another window, or another dual handset will allow me to get the answers. And that is the malpractice what Jiva Sendil ma'am was telling.
Yes,
and this is rightly happening, and it is an evident thing which has been found of late in all the tests. The children were using dual sets or helped by the parents. Because all the parents want their children to be on the top always. So they use a dual test, or they use a dual window. They find the answers for the relevant questions. And because all the questions, your technology, the Google has got all the answers for this, including this debate.
Yes.
So it's not going to help.
Exactly.
Dr. Nalini.
Can I debate over his discussion? Yeah, Santosh sir, thank you for the information given. But when we are not able to accept the examination pattern using digital technology, how are we able to accept the examination pattern that is happening for higher level of education like medical science or engineering and the entrance exams conducted by various universities and abroad universities. See, rather to blame the technology here, I would request the educational experts to build such kind of question papers, using the technology where there is no any other gadget other than the computer is being utilized, and it is being monitored. Manual, it is being monitored. It should be monitored. So similarly, in a way, when the child is being given an option to write his or her examination from home, isn't it the responsibility of the parent also to monitor to certain extent? So it's here, it is not just a teacher is able to fulfill all the needs of the student. It's always the same responsibility has to be extended by the parents. Then only a situation called education, a system called education is knowledge is possible, not only just by a school, not only just by a teacher. Parents play a vital role than a teacher because education starts from home. So in that case, when an examination is being declared, say for example, when a public board examination goes on, parents do accompany the children and they wait in front of the gate of the school for 3 hours or 4 hours. Why can't they do it for 1 hour at home? It's for the better of their own progeny, rather the child. So
Thank you, Dr.
parents
Nali. Thank you.
communicate.
I think the point has been adequately made. Yes, yes. Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you.
So thank you. With this, I
Adequately
would end up my
supported.
discussion for this.
Thank you. Thank you. I think adequately supported. The defense
Thank
is
you.
adequately supported. Thank you. Any other points of interest? Any other points that need to be brought in? Great. Okay. We'll move into second part of round two, where we now invite speakers who are against to have their core speech. I invite speaker number 3, Ms. Jiva. Your 10 minutes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Definitely, sir. I would like to stress on the negative impact of technology among students. Kids have access to screens all around them. Many homes and multiple television sets, computers and tablets and phones for children to find and play with. And some children have access to their own tablet and phone, starting at a young age itself. Research shows that the average 8 to 10 years old spend almost 8 hours a day with a variety of media, and older children and teenagers spend around 11 hours per day with media. That time adds up. The young people are spending more time with technology than they do to school. Children and teenagers around the country aren't cutting down their media consumption either. Some teenagers say that they just month stay up until 2 a.m. scrolling social media and spend hours each day playing video games. And this has continued to get more intense over time as more apps and options arise to distract kids. Aspect where children's social media use challenges parents. Nearly 1 in 6 parents, they don't use parental control on using the gadgets. And nearly 39% of parents don't have the time to monitor their children using social media. And nearly 21% of parents can't find information to set the monitoring. And nearly 32% of children find ways to circumvent parental controls. These are the present statistical data where the parents as well as teachers are in a very great grim because of increasing use of technology among the students' fraternity. And now I would like to stress on some of the negative effects of using technology among the students. First and foremost, the child having more use of electronic gadgets has led to lesser attention span. That can be noticed even in the schooling hours of theirs when they are there inside the classrooms. If they are at home using more time for when they are there with the electronic gadgets, in the classroom, their attention is very, very, very less, and they lack in attention, listening to the teacher or taking up certain tests or answering the students, or they remain very, very aloof. That has been noticed at present, where the students are more with, with electronic gadgets. And now, one more thing, important thing, these children are at the most risk of depression. And cyberbullying, and then obesity, and then social interaction issues. So many things can be listed when these children are more into the electronic gadgets. First of all, the refusal of school coming itself has been seen at present. Some of the students, especially for the of the higher secondary, they find most of the time using cell phones, and not for the good purpose, that as our speaker number 1 and speaker number 2 told. They are utilizing only for entertainment, watching more number of YouTubes, and they are not utilizing for the good purposes, like for the educational purposes. They are not for. Just they are sparing time to watch, listen to music, or watching unwanted things in the cell phones. And there are some of the children who are refusing to come to school because of that. And we have so many behavioral problems among the students in this regard, where parents are not able to do anything, and even the teachers are not able to bring them and motivate them to come to school. This is one part where we have complications at the school level. And then sitting more time just watching all such things leads to obesity and so many other health issues also. And parents, they are not able to have a control on them. That leads to some aggression also in their behavior. Aggression in sense, they tend to misbehave at home. They shout to parents if their cell phones and other gadgets have been taken away. And mostly parents come and complain that they are not without their phones in their hands. And when they are being asked to learn also, they lock themselves in the room and they keep their phones with them. And we do not know, parents are saying they do not know whether they are really utilizing for the learning purposes. This is how the technology has led to. Before pandemic, we had a very good the value systems among the students, where they used to listen to teachers and listen to parents, and they had the fear of board exams and all that. But at present, we are finding it very difficult for both the teachers and parents to understand what is going in the minds of children. Bringing to the track at present, after pandemic, after the maximum utilization of cell phone by the students, is very, very difficult at present. I literally mean it. And where our speakers were saying about during pandemic, this technology was a real, boom to the teaching fraternity as well as for the students and all. But then there were so many other problems also related to during COVID-19. I have a statistical data regarding this also. There were nearly 37% of lower income group who were not able to have the access of cell phones to their children. And they were not able to do anything, or not even able to attend their classes. And nearly 24% of students, again in the middle income group, were not having the facility of whoever having a cell phone. And just 23% of people in the upper income group were able to provide cell phone. Likewise, we have a lot of statistical data regarding this, where the homework taken during a pandemic time away from school is also not that correct. They have not, the children have just got their books, they never did their homework, nothing was done. And they have the habit of deleting what is sent. Even at present, they are technically very sound. Whatever messages have been sent to parents, they have the access and they delete. And we send marks through our online aspects, and those marks are also been deleted. Now, though we have all increased technological aspects and everything, but now we have come back to the report card level. Seeing the report card during the signature, parents got to know that so many tests were conducted, and the parents were not aware of our app, and all the online tests, everything being done. But then authenticity is very, very bleak in this technical aspect. And then moreover, children have started, bullying much. amongst friends, and there are so many, what to say, problems arising due to this increased technology. Like so cyberbullying is very common among the children, and Instagram, other things. The Instagrams are not being utilized for very good purposes. Only socializing being done without parents' knowledge. They post for photos which is irrelevant, and there are a lot of peer group pressures in this peer group pressure in this, where the other person is Instagram, they also want to be. They are in they put their stories in WhatsApp. These people also. Likewise, there are a lot of peer group pressures, and I stand by saying that the technology has little to do with the value-based systems, where children are being directed towards many other complications in future to come. Maybe it may be good for the net at the employment level, networking level, at the higher levels, it may be useful. But at the school levels, I think this technology is bringing the children to a different level where parental control as well as teachers' control is not getting stabilized at present. This is my say, sir. And that is falling grades is another aspect. Parents think that the child is using cell phone and homeworks and other things being got from the cell phone is doing it, but not at all. Overall, we have seen that the grades, who are children who are into more of electronic gadgets, their scores are literally coming down, and making them understand to keep away, make them get away from the cell phone is also very difficult. Where parental care, no, mostly parents are not able to control them.
Time limitation, last 30 seconds. Last 30
yes,
seconds. Please go
yes, I just, with my personal experience as a principal now, I'm finding it very, very difficult managing the children and their use of cell phones. We confiscate, we keep it to, but again, they are bringing it. And bringing cell phone to the school is not advisable. Tracking them where they are, it is not correct, actually. Parents should be aware that how they are being sent to school, they have to go home back. In school buses, we can have the tracking system. Whereas monitoring the child, that means every child has to bring the cell phone. We need to track them where they are. That is not correct. And smart classes we have. That also children feel it is very monotonous, and chalk and talk method is the best method where child is able to learn. Ultimatum learning can be done only through chalk and talk, whenever and whatever a time it has been allocated for a teacher. It becomes very monotonous, keeping and making child to observe smart board. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for the opportunity given. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Moderator, sir, can you just switch on my video, enable my video, please?
Checking. 1 second. Parvati, anyone around? Can you please help with the permission for video, please? Mr. Santosh, that's okay. You can begin off video while the backend team works. That's okay. You can go ahead and present your points. Doesn't matter. If you are comfortable, that is.
Yeah, I don't mind. I can just continue.
Okay.
So
go ahead then.
First of all, shall I start?
Yeah. Please go ahead. Your 10 minutes. Please go ahead.
I thank you very much. I thank Amrita Vidyapeetham for giving us an opportunity for participating in this debate. As I was hearing everything from everyone, so I'm going to talk about the digital technology is not good for the younger generations. I'm not saying the digital technology is totally bad. I will say for students, and that's why we have 3 principles, and I am a correspondent who controls the principles. So it will be very difficult for me to accept all the 3, but I will tell you something very, very clearly. The digital technology, if it continues the way during the pandemic period. Whatever you said, your advantage is over taking classes from your home and everything. You are going to lose your job in the near future if this continues. This digital technology is going to make you a puppet, because it is not you who is there in front of the students. It is somebody else. They do not know who is there in front of the camera. The students will not have the fear. The students will not understand what you're saying. And as Jiva ma'am said, most of the students doesn't attend at all. They switch on and just go away somewhere else. So that's the main issue. And as I said earlier, they used to minimize and go to something else. So this digital technology often has really taken a pamper of majority of the students. The internet addiction to the students is too high. They do not concentrate on what is really meant for, what really digital technology has been got developed. They instead, they concentrate on something else. I can give you a statistics as of 26th April 2022, that the internet addiction has been 39% to the high school level. And so the medium school level, it is 32, and rest of the thing is 70%. It is not me who is saying this. It is the digital technology, after effects, and this is what the disadvantages. The person who has developed the digital technology itself is saying, it is present in the Google, you can go and search. And the risk of depression among the students, it is too much. There is a lot of risk involved. They are under depression. As rightly Jiva ma'am said, you snatch away the mobile phone, immediately the depression starts with the students. The mobile phones are used for education, but instead they're using it for something else. And the moment when the parents find that they snatch it away, the student get into depression, and they start quarreling, fighting and whatnot with the parents. And more than that, this mobile phone is traveling to the kitchen, it's traveling to the toilets, it's traveling to the bedroom, thereby even in the dining hall. The obesity of the kids is too much these days, only because the screen is in front of you, and you start eating without even knowing that your stomach is full. The technology is making you to blind yourself that the stomach is already full, but your hands are monotonously from the plate to the mouth, because your concentration and the mind is on the screen. So the obesity is too much, and the grades thereby for the students are coming down rapidly. And the last 2 years, touch your heart and say, ma'am, do the standards of education has come up? No. You yourself know, when the students come back to the school, how difficult it was for you to look at their standards. You have to start for the 5th standard, 6th standard, 7th standard students. You have to teach them as if they are in 2nd standard or 3rd standard, because these 2 years has really put them into a corner. They were only on gadgets. The technology has made them lazy. The technology has made them to concentrate on something else, not on studies. Without coming to school, this chalk and talk, it is the old methodology, but still the working methodology. The chalk and talk always pays. Even if you have a digital class, if you have a digital pen, even that pen is a chalk today. You have to make a talk, then only this technology will reach the students. So digital technology is nowhere going to help you. I will not say that it is not at all helping, but it is not properly utilized. The evaluation, the dangerousness for teachers is very much there, because the evaluation is done by something else. And the remote locations, what is remote location? You do not know. The discipline among the students when they come to school and sit in a place and learn is totally different. And when the digital technology is taking over, you do not know in what stage they are sitting. They might have a shirt and a tie, but they will be having a brief underneath without having a pant. So that is not good for the discipline action, and the teachers will find it very difficult when they come back to the school. But economically weaker, we are not concerned about only the students. This digital technology, the students turn into a different level after their college. This goes into the JNUs, they go to the colleges, they go to the higher society, they go to the MS, higher educations. What do? They even create a situation where the country's ruling itself is under stake. They will create a situation according to the convenience of the people who are digitally capable. The reality of an India which has to come, the reality of India which is being ruled, or the reality at which it is going on, is being misinterpreted in different ways. And all these things is through the students who has learned from the digital technology, and they are conveying it in a different manner according to the convenience of the people who are being paid. They are getting paid. They speak. They are mouth speakers. They talk as a tongue for the people who have money and who wants to do the discrepancies and the mischievousness. So digital technology as a whole is not going to help much. It is the discipline which we need to follow up in the future, mixed with the digital technology. Otherwise, it is going to be a very dangerous and a hazardous situation which we are going to go from here onwards. The social media always says that 40% of the people between the age group of 18 to 22 and 37% of the people from age 23 to 38 and 9% of the people from 39 to 54 are really addicted to the social media. Say, for example, you can say that we are doing Zoom, we are talking, we are having this technology through Zoom. If it is being utilized through a particular way, if it is being utilized in a proper way, I challenge it is going to grow. Otherwise, do you think it is going to go? Who is using the phones to the perfect manner? You say the call recording is used for something else. It is not being used for the lecturers. If I'm very happy if a student uses a call recording against the lecture and replay it at home and take the notes out of it and work, but it is not so. What they are doing, they are using the call recorder to have a chat with somebody, a girlfriend or a boyfriend. They record a call, send that to somebody else, and they say, hey, see, I have done this to my girl, I have done this to my boy. So things are happening in that way only. But I will not say only that is happening, but it is happening. If digital technology is helping us, okay, fine. But if it is spoiling that, you have to rethink of it. You really have to rethink of it. So under these circumstances, what we have to really look into is the students has to be taught in a different manner that, hey, stop here. See, the digital technology is there. It is must. It has to be used. But kids, there is a big dangerousness in it. There is a big negative point in it. This is going to turn out in a different way if you are going to use it in this way. That thing also has to be taught. But if there is one material and we are debating on that material about the good and the bad, and if there is any bad in that good, that has to be addressed. That is exactly what I am saying now. So the digital technology, as far as I am concerned, is definitely going to be a secondary thing, because the chalk and the talk which you have been practicing over the period of time, for the long period, Nalini madam over 58 out of our 58 years, she would have been using the chalk for more than 40 years. Baby ma'am would have been using it for more than 30 years. Jiva ma'am would have been using it for more than another 25 years or 30 years. So do you think that the screen and the pen is more valuable? No, still you will be valued in the society as having named as a user of a chalk and a talk. There ends my debate.
Thank you, thank you. I was just going to give you a time indication. Ms. Santosh, thank you so much. I now
I'd be
invite.
happy if you can open my video.
We're trying. I think the permission has already been.
Yeah, in between, I lost my net connection, so I just went out and came. Because of that, it may be.
Hello, is Parvati or someone around? Can we have the support on video restored, please? Hello. Okay, I see.
Yeah, you can
that.
go ahead,
Yeah.
moderator, sir.
I now invite I now invite points of interest from speakers, if there are any, on on the points that are shared by speakers against. Any points of interest? Please go ahead.
Yeah, one, may I speak, please?
Yes, please, Dr. Nalini, please go ahead.
As Santosh sir said, technology will result in losing the jobs. This is, according to my view, a totally an against point to me, because today, upon education, with going with the technology, has created lots and lots of jobs, especially when we come to the field of industrialization or urbanization. That's a different issue, which I don't want to comment here. But when it comes to the part of education, the teachers, or rather better teachers with the good knowledge of technology are doing better. Now, I would support this with a statement that whether it is, first of all, to say Amrita University or other platforms like Akash or Byju's or international schools and colleges have taken enrollment to provide education online. Now, for that, it's not just the faculty who are present in the respective platforms and institutions are not enough. So many hands from the technology fields have come into teaching. And where there is a loss of job, it is creation of the job. And QMath, I think all of us know about, where most of the faculty in QMath are either from graduates of education field or technology field, where if I am a teacher only with my BSc, MSc and B.Ed, I can't stand anywhere at present. I need to have a knowledge of technology to be functioning as a better teacher, where I must develop the quality to make my class a smart classroom with blended teaching. Now, where in the world, the blended mode of teaching has become very popular, as Santosh has said, chalk and talk will not only help, added to that, technology is definitely helping out and making education become popular. This is my statement against that teachers are not losing the job. In fact, they are getting the jobs.
You are on mute, moderator, sir.
Yes, sir.
Moderator, sir, you are on mute.
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead. I'm intentionally on mute. Please go ahead. Dr. Nalini, please go ahead.
Can I go ahead? Or,
yes, please go ahead. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. And secondly, I would tell that Madam Jiva and Madam Santosh are telling that digital education is spoiling the mindset, rather capacity of the children. Now, than to complain that the technology is spoiling the education or child's mentality, why don't we understand we are losing our responsibilities towards driving a society towards a better path? What is our responsibility? So we are knowledgeable, we are elderly, and under ourselves, the children are there, parents are there, and we also need to understand and inculcate such qualities in children to come out of the curiosities. Now, if the children are using gadgets these days just not to have fun, it is merely because of curiosity. Suppose if I want to know what is on the moon, where do I go? I use technology these days. Rather, children, suppose the child might ask me what is there. Now, I can't take the child to a moon and show what is on the surface. Rather, if I go with technology, the curiosity is brought down. So in a similar way, Madam Jiva said they are mostly into use of gadgets for so many other things. Now, when before such situation come, rather such a situation come as an example in a classroom. Now, if I'm able to reveal the curiosity of the truth of it, the child won't use it for a bad purpose. So it is all depends on our hands to give the knowledge to the children to what for the gadgets are to be used. with what limits the gadgets are to be used. When we educate them towards the use of technology, benefits of technology, no way it can be misused. That is my conception of you.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I, I would
Yes.
like to
Yes, sir.
answer her. See, what I say is, ma'am, you showed India on the map, then the technology evaluated, then you showed it on the globe, then again it went to the smart mode, and now you are showing the globe, you are zooming it, you are showing India using a smart board. The technology has evolved. I don't disagree on it, but my point is, moment the student has his phone, it is registered to Google, he or she has lost the phone. Now it is under the control of Google. Even whatever you save, your telephone numbers, your photos, your videos, your chats, everything in Facebook, you will get the photos which are not saved by you in your gadget. The Facebook will remind you 9 years above, 10 years ago. Where did they get it from? That means your phone is there in their control. Similarly, these students doesn't know what they are clicking. These students doesn't know what they are doing. They can delete it. Parents can mentor them, monitor them. They can even snatch the phone and see what they have done, and then they can advise them. But the adolescent age, whatever you say, you and me know, we have crossed that. You and me know what has happened in our adolescent age. And these adolescent guys and girls, what they do, we do not know, but that it gets deposited in the cloud, and that cloud will be to a disadvantage for them. That is the biggest disadvantage what digital transformation has done to the students, especially. Beyond that, they come out of that problems, and then they come out in life in all alarms. Fine, everything is fine, but till then, it's going to be a dangerous one only.
Exactly, sir.
Okay. Can I raise with this what Santosh sir has?
Before, Miss Jiva, were you going to say something?
No, sir, not needed.
Dr. Nalini, please go ahead.
Now, I partially agree with Santosh sir's statements here. Now, what I would tell is, suppose say misuse of a gadget may happen in a school or in a classroom, and we are able to track that. Now, once it is being under track, why don't we enlighten the entire group how, in what way it has to be used? We may not be able to convince all the 100. We should be able to generally give the information so that many of are able to accept. See, the word comes from a teacher is like what I can say, mantra to a child. It should be in the hands of a teacher to convince the child whether what the usage has been done, is it going to benefit the child or not going to benefit the child? And similarly, the gadget may be used in absence of parents, because most of the parents are now job goers. And when it is possible to know that what the child is working on a phone, why don't the parents have a few minutes to look into the phone what the child is using? If such any misconduct is being seen, the parent is supposed to talk to the child. Say a word called counseling is better necessary here. It's not just blaming the child because it is using it and it is out of the way and all that. Why don't we counsel the child? Why don't we enlighten the child in what way it has to be used? Let us not blame the technology. Let us blame the way it is being used. So let us find the remedy to enlighten the child or the adolescent group of people in what platform and what level they must be used. It's a question of giving the education not by means of education. When it goes to the usage in a better means, it will always enlighten the society. It will all bring up the good future generation.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I would like to say something, sir. It is
Yes.
entirely in the hands of the child, self-discipline. The child, if he thinks that what he is doing is wrong, then he can come out of it. But here, as Santosh sir said, it is totally under the control of the Google, where in spite of not willing to use also, he'll be addicted to use. That is what I mean to say. And as I've already stated, nearly 32% of children find ways to circumvent parents' control. They are not immediately, they just do, technically they just delete or they just pretend as though they have not done. Parent cannot have complete access on their usages. And that also technology teaches how to circumvent. Also the technology is only teaching. And this is what is my say, madam. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
20% of the study proves that online classes were done by the students on the move. 20%. And when you look at the gadget while you are on a car or a bus, naturally the depression tablet has to be taken. That is the moment the depression starts. Once you take your eyes out of the gadget while on a move, then the entire intestine comes out of your mouth. So and they vomit. I have literally seen a lot of students vomit or during the travel after online class. It has been a complaint which has come from a parent to our school that the kids vomit after an online class. I asked them, how did you do? How did she get? Did she eat anything bad at night? No. We were going to Guruvayur. On the way, we were online classes were there. So that's what, when you are on the move and if you are on the gadget, naturally there is a possibility of vomiting. So the digital technology, it helps, but our point is more than helping, it is troubling us.
Exactly, sir.
Miss Baby, yes, please, Miss Baby. Please unmute yourself, Miss Baby.
Mr. Santosh was telling the child has vomited after the online class while he was traveling. It happens for everybody. Whoever travels, they'll have that sensation. It is not because of only online class. And it is an online class. It is meant to listen. That's it. But whether you go travel or with having food or without having food or online class, people, those who have the sensation, will vomit. That is there. And everybody were telling that it is a digital platform is against. I say when a doctor prescribes some medicine, it has to be only one tablet has to be taken a day. It has to be taken only on the particular day. If too much is taken, think of what will happen. That is the problem. The technology has to be used like a medicine. Half an hour or 1 hour should be the time allotted, and the rest of the time they have to go for the physical fitness or everything. That are all purely based on parent and teacher, and everybody should educate on this. This is my stand.
Thank you. Dr. Nalini, yes, please. I think you'll have to unmute yourself, Dr. Nalini.
One more point I want to add on with the reasons gave by Madam Jiva, where she said the teachers, about the teachers' qualities, she was much concerned with. Only it is far better in chalk and talk method, rather a typical classroom teaching, she mentioned. Now, if myself being a teacher and stand only with the chalk and talk, I stand nowhere at present. And the child always in a classroom expects very high of a teacher, very high expectations the teacher will have, because the child himself or herself is technologically far ahead all of us. We are so called as the older generations after 55 here. So I should be able to challenge with the child. I should be smarter than a child, where I need to get the knowledge compulsory about the digital learning. So unless I go with it, I can't be noted as a good teacher at present, because most of the world-class schools and colleges are having all the digital facilities. So if a school is only with the chalk and talk, no parent will admit the child to their schools unless they are economically very, very far weaker. So rather than all this, for our survival in the society or in our country, the developing country, which is going to be the most strongest in near future, we all need to educate ourselves and digitally, and we have to make our children to be educated through digital education only, then they only develop the competence qualities and they will stand ahead of everyone. That is what I do believe in, because with the technology, I am also a teacher and I am a learner at first. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. If there are no other points of interest, we'll move to stage 3, where I now invite each speaker to share their summary points. We'll follow the same pattern. You have about 2 to 3 minutes to share your summary points alone. Miss Baby, I invite you to share your summary points. Your 3 minutes are yours.
Unmute, ma'am, unmute.
Please unmute yourself.
Right. I stand for the digital technology here. They were telling, we all know, students, they Google it and they spare most of the time in researching and collecting information. They'll be in the social media. They collect a lot of information. So what should the teacher do? When they come, just they have the chalk and talk. Will it be very useful? No. The teacher has to have adequate information to clarify the doubts with the children. So in that way, technology plays a vital role in the classroom. So teacher with the degree, without getting qualified, without moving on further, collecting on any information, children and the teacher cannot fulfill the needs of the children. So they have to learn a lot. They have to browse the material. They have to give it to the children, and they have to tell where all the material is available. So in that case, teacher has to equip themselves. So only technology makes them improvise their teaching in the class. And when we talk about the discipline again, there are various methodologies available. When the teacher is not browsing anything, or many people are not using the electronic gadgets, they will not come to know. Searching for a book and reading one book alone will not help them. They have to browse a lot, get to know the methodologies, whatever is being used by the various researchers. That will help them to tackle the discipline inside the class, inside the school, wherever, even at home. Even at home, people will say the children are not obeying to the parents. So when we meet the parent, we can tell the different ideas, different methods, what can be followed at home. And overall, the monitoring by the parents, teachers, inside the school and at home helps the child to grow better with the use of technology. So technology should be used. We have to educate the children how to use, when to use. It is not burning the midnight oil and working till 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock, thinking that the children are learning. We have to limit the sleeping time also. That is how the discipline starts. You have to tell this is the time you have to go to bed, this is the time you have to get up. So children will not be unnecessarily using their mobiles. And parents should collect the mobiles when they go to bed. They have to collect, and when it has to be given, that should be given. So when we follow all the rules, we are at home also, we have to plan the rules and it has to be followed. So nobody will have the problem. The technology also will be used wisely, and children also will be in the safer hands, both with the parents and with the teachers.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. I now invite Dr. Nalini. Your summary points, please.
Yeah, to summarize, the benefits of digital learning, it provides all these advantages: the freedom to learn whatever the child wants, comfort of learning from your own home, ability to work while you study, of course, with higher education. They offer ultimate convenience and flexibility for the child to know its own desirous field of learning. Reduced education costs, where lakhs of rupees they have to spend to take their admissions, that can be avoided. More opportunities for teacher and student interaction. This is very great point to be noted. It's possible to study at their own places and with own paces. Expand your career horizons for, of course, for higher education. Gain greater access to experts in their fields than to listen to the lessons from my own teacher. They will have an accessibility through media to learn from various other experts, and so that they can gain better knowledge of the subjects. Expand your network with the teacher or could be the friends community. Avoid dreaded commute, where commutation becomes hazardous these days. That can be avoidable. Study with thousands of students around the world of your own age with your own knowledge. Reduced academic pressure for the child. And beyond all this, I would summarize stating that these are the days to learn smart and become smart and survive better. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I now invite Ms. Jiva to share your summary points.
Using technology has its own flaws and constraints, but then we have to come out of it as a teacher, as a parent, or whatever it is. Parents and adults can help children get the benefits of technology with less of the negative effects. If we have to, if we are having the journey with the technology, as Madam said, without technology, the classroom is nothing. Though the teacher is equipped with all the technical know-how, the student's part is most important, listening to whatever things are being stored in the smart board. It is only the ability of the child, whether he is taking up or not. The teacher will be equipped with, but the child is must also be a good listener and should come along with the teacher with whatever technological aspects the teacher is equipped with. Parents can start by ensuring children under 2 don't use screens, and they can also play along with children to include face-to-face interaction with technology and make sure that tech doesn't interfere for opportunities to play. Parents should also work to set appropriate boundaries, including time limits and model good smartphones use. Cybersecurity software and system can help ensure that kids stay safe while using technology. And parents and teachers can watch for quality apps that promote vocabulary, math, literacy, and science. Adults can help make sure kids learn about computer science and IT as a part of technology use to give them opportunities for the bright tech future. So it is, we cannot go away from technology, as already the other speakers noted, but then positive aspects should also not only be notified, and the government and other people should take into account of the negative aspect also, and they have to find some solution for the some usage of cell phones and at the lower ages being addicted to it. I just go for the technology is not good for the students' fraternity at present on a longer perspective. Thank you so much for the opportunity given.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I invite Mr. Santosh for his summary points.
Yeah. See, as I said, our topic as a whole, holistically, if you look at the topic, our topic is technology advantageous for the students? We never said that technology should not come. Technology should not be developed. Technology, if at all, without technology, how will we live? But our point is it advantageous for the students? No. Earlier, we used to know our neighbors. The children used to play along with our neighbors in front of our house or in the park. Now we are living in a gated community. We do not, or in an apartment. We do not know who is our neighbor. We are always on the gadget. Through them, we might be friends in a WhatsApp group, the next door. But we might, when we see each other, no, we do not know them. So that is the technology here living. Is that the technology we are talking about? Is that the technology which is endorsed? You are in a group, you know their numbers, you would have chatted along, but you do not know them. When you see them together, you do not know them. So that is the problem with the technology. The smartphones, as I said, is hacked, and adolescent age people doesn't know the implications of being got hacked or being monitored by Google. The Google classrooms are misused. It is advantageous, definitely, no doubt about it, but it is misused. And voice recording, these days they don't type at all. They just record a voice and send it. They don't even have time to type. By not doing that, what happens? Their typing ability goes and their spelling ability goes. I could see one student writing pension, pention. It is not that. It doesn't even know what is the spelling of a pension. So what does it mean? The ability of not typing, the ability of not using the vocabulary skills and the spelling skills, they are using the voice skills, which are bringing down the technology. The misuse of the digital technology is thus arrived. The technology can facilitate and it can give, but the results are debatable, and cannot control the students by collecting the phones at proper time. There starts the rebuttal from the students. Once you start snatching from them, they start rebuttaling you, and their whole character of the students changes, their perspective changes. They become another one. They become a Chandramukhi when you snatch the phone from them. Then starts the problems with them, the mental agony where they go through when they do not have a gadget in their hand. It's again a matter to be debated, and you have to take them to a psychiatrist to solve these problems. So these things, technology, I welcome, but I strongly believe for students, it's a question mark. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Santosh. Thank you so much. A very rich discussion today. A lot of thoughts, a lot of statements supported by very valid data points we shared. I think we all are, very happy that we'll be moving away today a little more enlightened, at least. And From Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham, one of the objectives, like I said in the beginning, was to introduce a tool which can probably be used as a learning tool across institutions. One more objective of hosting a debate is probably we have 5, 6 people come together who can then, probably share their views amongst each other, not just on the debate, but going forward. We are now, Parvati has initiated an effort to keep all 4 of you connected together, so that you can now have a social platform where you can take this forward as well. So I'd invite you to be in touch with each other. And with that, I must also thank Ms. Parvati and the team behind the conduct of Amrita Oval. They've been seamless right from the beginning, and they've provided all the support that we needed today to ensure that the debate is seamless. As a moderator, I'm not authorized to share opinion, but I do feel glad that I studied about 30 years ago when we were studying. I do feel glad I studied in a time where there was no Google. Otherwise, things I did 30 years ago would still be recorded somewhere today. On that note, on behalf of Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham, I thank you all for sparing time with us today. It has been a real pleasure. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.